Greetings. Welcome back. My name is Gabe Charay. Today I thought I would start exploring an idea that I've had in my head for a little while, and that idea is the concept of a musical garden. Every spring I usually start a little garden out back here, and I have lots of houseplants, and they kind of teach me a lot about curation and how things develop. Whenever I work, I like to be able to do a project and kind of have it done at the same time, but I realize that's not how everything works, especially when you're working on something larger. And sometimes the videos I'm doing, I try to fit it all into one session so it kind of wraps up nicely and you can put a bow on it and be like, here. But that's not how everything works. So today I thought I would start the idea of planting some musical seeds and see what comes of them, with hopes of maybe putting out a bunch of music. Today I thought I would just open a blank Ableton set and start with something fresh and brand new and see how it goes. I think in the future I might open up projects that I've already started on and do some editing from there and show you how I work on projects that have already been started. But today, starting from scratch, I'm gonna only use the grandmother for some of the synth sounds, and I might use the grandmother as a MIDI controller. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. I have about probably 35 minutes to work with before I have to go do something else. Hopefully this video will be shorter so you can watch it and not have to watch the whole thing unfold over 35 minutes. Enjoy. So let's see what the tempo is in Ableton. Oh, that's a loud metronome. I think what I'm gonna do is just start with like a basic sound on the grandmother. I'm gonna record something. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. I'll probably try to make it kind of long, and then I can tweak. I'll play it back and tweak, and then maybe even do some patching. That was kind of my general thought for today, was to get like a long concept happening and start with that. So it's gonna take me a minute to figure it out, but here we go. I'm gonna try to work with that. Maybe let's slow the tempo down just slightly. Yeah. Just making sure I got a level there. All right, I'm gonna do it with the metronome just to make sure. I figure if I use the metronome and get everything kind of on a grid that I like, then I can add things later very easily. That's the benefit of working on the grid. All right, let's try something. Oh, here's one thing I wanted to do too. I wanted to record this as MIDI as well. That way I can always adjust things later if I need to. Let me put this in as a connected MIDI. That way I can always change timing a little bit if I need to. I like to try to commit to what I'm doing, but sometimes, you know, it's nice to be able to tweak it. Also, if I wanted to change the sound later, if I have the MIDI, I can do that. Let's try it again. Cool, let's try that. So there's a couple spots in there that I messed it up. Let's see, there was a spot around measure 16. Yeah. There it is. Bam. Let's get rid of that note. All right, might have to check that rhythm too. Yeah, it's a little funny. Oh, that's probably just the recording. That's what that is. Actually, let me remove this because I'm not going to use it. See, these are the things. This is why I started doing this, because this is also a great opportunity to figure out my tools to work with my musical garden. Like some of these things I don't use on a daily basis, and I really want to get used to using Ableton and more of a fluid manner. I feel like I'm pretty fluid with it, but there's some like small things that I forget constantly. So this is a good practice for that. Yeah, I'm not trying to get too stuck on this, but of course I'm stuck on it. Cool. There's another spot where I added a note in somewhere. Looks like it might be right there. Yeah, this guy. Cool, I think that's about right. So now that I have this whole MIDI track, I can quantize it if I wanted to and see what happens. Cool. Not quite sold on that note yet. We'll let it hang out, but we'll see what happens. I'll leave it quantized. Sounds pretty cool. So now I'm just gonna let it play for a little while and do some tweaking. Might try some patching if I get brave, but let's just see what we can come up with. It's kind of crazy. It almost sounds like a delay. I don't have any delay on right now. I think it's because I changed the envelope amount. I inverted the envelope a little bit. It's kind of cool. That might mess with the overall rhythm though. I patched the wave out of the modulation section to an attenuator, and then the attenuator to the FM in on the second oscillator, just to get a little motion in there. I don't know if I'm sold on that yet, but I'm gonna mess with the modulation on maybe the cutoff. I'm just gonna do it real slow. Let's record this as a hard recording. So basically, now what I'm gonna do is sort of a performance. I'm gonna record all of this knob automation and I'm gonna commit to it. I'm just gonna make it a flat recording. And then that's what I'll use. And then maybe we'll try something else. So here we go. I don't need to record the MIDI anymore. Probably don't need the metronome either, but I'll do the count off. What's cool is when you're doing this, you can accent notes by punching out a note with the filter. See what I mean? I'm going to try to catch the end with a long release and maybe a little reverb. So we got like a little bit of the grandmother spring reverb in the end there. All right, so now I'm going to do my due diligence and copy all this and save it before anything bad happens, and we'll call this Musical Garden. I always put the date too. Today is May 13th, 25. It's actually my birthday. But when you're watching this, it's not my birthday, it's already passed. So, okay, so I think I'm gonna work with that. Now I don't need the MIDI anymore, so I'm gonna turn that off. So now we have this grandmother thing going on. Okay, so I got about, I don't know, 10 minutes left. Let me add another track here. Let's start brand new. Kind of messing around with our arpeggiator. I'm trying to think of a higher texture I can put on top of this, so that's what I'm messing with. All right, so I think I'm gonna mess with this. I don't think I'm gonna use MIDI at all for this. I'm just gonna record something on top and see how it goes. So right now I'm sort of working on maybe a higher texture part for this part that I've recorded. We'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna play it live. All right, I'm gonna do this again. So obviously all of this stuff is in, it's pre-mixing any of that stuff. I'm just throwing stuff down. You know, I might edit this later, you know, remove things, put things in. I only had a short amount of time to work with today, so about 30 minutes, so I got 2 long tracks to work with. I have some ideas. Maybe on a future video, I'll revisit this and we'll tackle it some more. There's some drum stuff I would like to do, especially using MIDI and then using some of the drum stuff in Ableton. Outer space, man. Thanks for watching. If you like it, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. See you next time.